Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of EdTech IT News Talk Update for the week of Sunday, July 12th, 1998. I am Andy Burke. For this evening, educational technology, are school administrators ready for it? A new survey from the Southern Regional Education Board in Atlanta, Georgia says our nation's children could be in trouble when it comes to technology in schools. Also on this evening's broadcast, Toshiba releases a top-of-the-line portable computer with a whopping 192 megabytes of RAM. Aren't we getting a bit excessive here? And also, Laserdisc players can now be found in about 2 million American households and climbing. We'll look at the future of this remarkable digital technology that is here to stay. But first, our leading story. The SREB has just released a survey drafted by William R. Thomas, the Director of Educational Technology of the colleges and university in the region. The findings indicate that superintendents and principals are not adequately prepared to lead school boards to the 21st century when it comes to educational technology. Although it appears that an increasing number of administrators, about 71%, are making use of tools like email, slideshow presentation software, spreadsheet, database applications, and the internet, post-secondary institutions are not offering training to encourage the use and familiarity of new technology in schools today. In fact, there is some doubt as to whether or not university faculty even have an acceptable grasp of the issues and skills required in educational technology. The SREB survey indicates that only 30% of the total faculty in many colleges of education actively use and address technology in their instruction. Over 60% of respondents also communicated that the most frequently overlooked areas in technology include legal issues, emerging technologies, and teaching and learning issues. When we contacted a faculty representative at the Clark, Atlanta, Georgia campus, we were declined an interview, but we're told only that changes are being made. A second survey asked school superintendents how and to what extent they use and promote technology in their roles as school leaders. As technology has become more available in schools, 72% of the superintendents said they have increased their use of technology tools to improve communications and management of the schools. For instance, the superintendent's office and central administrative staff increasingly use email to communicate. Joining me tonight from North Carolina is EdTech IT News Talk Updates correspondent on current technology issues in the SREB, Johnny Wolf. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Eddie.
Johnny, what are districts in the SREB doing to make up for this shortfall in preparing administrators for EdTech issues?
Well, by now, most districts have technology plans to help direct the use of technology in schools. In many states, these plans are reviewed by the state before implementation.
How many of these districts would have technology plans if it were not a requirement of the state?
That part's a little unclear, but it's a step in the right direction.
Based on the survey results, how do superintendents view technology plans in general?
It appears, according to the survey, superintendents play a high degree of importance on these technology plans. Many develop the plans with the aid of staff, parents, and other key members of the community, which is important if you want everybody to buy in, so to speak. The other side of the coin is often these committees can have a particular bias, which may push the district in the wrong direction in terms of best interest to the students.
What can you tell us about the E-Rate program?
Well, the E-Rate program comes out of the Federal Communications Commission. Their goal is to bring every school and library in America into the information age. They offer discounts in telecommunications, services and equipment, and calculate the discount using the number of students from low-income families, the ones that receive free lunches.
Sounds like a wonderful program.
Well, it definitely is. But many superintendents have a tough time keeping up with the application process. Often, this responsibility is delegated, sometimes to a consultant. In some cases, these consultants do not have a comprehensive understanding of the issues surrounding educational technology, and the applications were rejected.
What could this mean to a large district in the SREB?
Sometimes a loss of $1 million in discounts on technology in 1 year.
That's pretty hefty.
Another school district interviewed had such inflexible regulations regarding the purchase of new technology that the tools would just not get into schools in a timely manner. The district also restricted the suppliers that the school could use so often they were paying a great deal more for the same technology that another provider would have charged.
Thank you, Johnny Wolf.
Good night.
Many superintendents expressed frustration over who to turn to for advice on new technology in their schools. One Texas superintendent explained, "There are too many new things emerging. Hardware and software, it is impossible to be familiar with all of these." When it comes to seeking advice, some superintendents said they turn to the technology director, external help from peer superintendents, regional centers, and state resources. Joining me now is Dennis Fortier from New Orleans, Louisiana. Dennis is the technology director for New Orleans Public Schools. Hello, Dennis.
Hi, Andy. Actually, it's pronounced Denis Fortier.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dennis. Dennis, what can you tell me about the role of technology director in a school district?
Oh, never mind. The technology director typically works in the central office. Different districts have different expectations, but it usually involves advising the superintendent in important technology decisions.
What types of qualifications must a technology director have?
Most states aren't specific on the duties of a technical director, and training for these positions in post-secondary education are very difficult to find. The difficulty is that many of them are expected to be experts on such a wide range of topics in information technology that they cannot possibly be trained in every area.
Where does the expertise of technology directors typically lie?
Well, in general, they are proficient in dealing with student and financial record-keeping software. More recently, some tech directors are former teachers. As curricula are developing with increased technology integration, the role of the tech director is only going to get harder.
What about superintendents that do not have a technology director? Where do they turn?
Well, a small number of schools turn to commercial vendors for advice when purchasing new equipment.
And what are the problems inherent with this decision?
Often vendors have a bias towards certain equipment or software because their profit margin may be better. These types of relationships can result in a conflict of interest. Superintendents often cannot tell if the vendor has their school district's best interests in mind.
Thank you, Dennis Fortier.
You're welcome, Andy.
Although there has been an increased amount of money set aside for technology in schools, superintendents indicated that one of the primary setbacks for IT is funding. Although the initial cost for equipment may not be restrictive, other costs for tech support, maintenance, and professional development may set districts back and make them reconsider. The author of the article, William R. Thomas, suggested the following technology standards for school administrators. Understands the elements and characteristics of long-range planning for the use of current and emerging technology. Demonstrates ability to analyze and react to technology issues, concepts, and proposals. Possesses a big picture vision of technology in education and schools. Uses technology to communicate efficiently with staff, parents, and the community. Uses technology directly to collect and analyze data and other information that can improve decision-making and other management functions. Understands how current and available technologies can be integrated effectively into all aspects of the teaching and learning process. Understands the legal and ethical issues related to technology licensing and usage, and uses technology appropriately in leading and communicating about school programs and activities. In conclusion, Thomas asks, should there be technology standards for administrators comparable to those for teachers? While standards for teachers and students are becoming common in SREB states, none has similar standards for school administrators. Some states do apply their technology standards for educators to school administrators, but states generally have not determined what specific knowledge about technology the school administrators should have to do their jobs. For EdTech IT News Talk Update, I'm Andy Burke.